So I know for a fact that Kanzaki says his PVT is like, or his TVP is like 1100, and his TVZ is like 1700.
Oh,
So that's a pretty big disparity, and it sucks to be in tier 2 with that kind of like difficulty in a matchup because you never know what you're gonna get, and you know, you might be performing well below the level that's expected of you. I do that in all matchups, so it's not that much of an issue for me, but
Yeah, we actually have Kanzaki in chat. He's saying, I don't remember what I did. It's a valid, comment, considering this was like a month and a half ago or something like that, but we're going to get into it. Game 1. All right. So in the bottom left, we have our Protoss player, the SippyCup. And in the 12 o'clock top position, we have our Terran player, Kanzaki Renko.
So I don't know either of these players. Like, I don't know how they like to play this matchup, so we're gonna have to take the first game as like an indicator of what they plan to do for the rest of the series. But Aztec PvT, I think this map is super hard for Terran, to be honest, because you can get surprised by something like a DT drop or Reaver drop. It's really, really difficult to defend this main. Like, this main is huge, especially the 12 o'clock position. Like, I find the 12 o'clock position to be the hardest to defend from drops because there's such a massive space behind your mineral line. Like, if you look at the 7 o'clock base, that's actually not true at all. Like, you kind of have these defensive arcs where your buildings are normally set up that kind of block drops and allow you to sort of maneuver your units around them. It makes it easier to defend against things like a Reaver drop. But in 12 o'clock, you have this massive area behind your base that you never really use for anything because it's far from the ramp. And there's a lot of different avenues for entry. So if Terran wants to defend this, they have to cluster their buildings really close together and turret everything up, which they never want to do. You always want to have adequate space for your units to move. And he's actually going to go for a low ground wall, which is very safe. I don't know if this is... I think this is a Zealot type wall, but I don't think it's Zergling type. Not that matters, but...
He's got the right idea. He's kind of blind countering this Proxy 2 gate in the center of the map.
Yeah, I think this is a smart play from CPL because it's like, well, you know, first game, you don't know how your opponent plays, and...
From Kanzaki.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think both of them, to be honest. I mean, I think Proxy 2 gate is really good because it sets your opponent off, like, off kilter. Like, even if you lose the first game, it's like, well, my opponent is capable of doing crazy stuff, like Proxy 2 gating in the middle of the map, and if you lose to it, it's extra bad because now you have no idea what to do, and your opponent can just do like a 14 Nexus or something and be totally fine. But Kanzaki also playing it smart by just being as safe as possible and wanting to delay this, and I would be concerned about this probe that's like hitting the supply depot.
Now what's interesting is Kanzaki still has no idea what CPL is doing. So he has one Marine on the way, but we already have 2 Zealots that are going to slowly drip into this wall here.
Yeah, and luckily this isn't the 5 o'clock position because the Marine would be totally dead if that was the case, but a little fortunate there. And now he knows it's Proxy 2. Gonna try and bust down that wall, but that's, you know, not gonna happen. Now the Marines are gonna get out, and he's even repairing the supply depot. This is just heads-up play, really.
Yeah, it looks like Kanzaki is all over this. I would almost shoot down the probe. That could have been a free kill, but...
Yeah. Oh, so that wall is not Marine tight, it appears. That's interesting. The more you know. I don't know why he's running these Marines out here, though. This is, like, really risky. Like, what is this trying to accomplish?
Get back, get back, get back, get back! I thought he could just run back through, could he not?
I don't know.
Is it a one-way?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he, I don't know, maybe fumbled that a little bit, maybe clicked somewhere incorrect, or maybe it is one-way. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there are any.
Oh, Kanzaki said his own SCV blocked him.
Oh, yeah, because he's... Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That's unfortunate.
This position on on Aztec, I actually lost to Kanzaki in a ZVT because he dropped my main and my Defiler would not go down the ramp.
Look at what's
in this exact same position. So
sorry, look at what Kanzaki has going on at the bottom of Desipi's base. I'm gonna check vision. Oh, SippyCup can see it though.
Oh, he can see it, yeah.
Yeah, it's within vision. I don't know if he's gonna react to it though. And
this is very sneaky.
What's actually interesting about this is both gateways are in the middle of the map, so once he does find this, it's going to be a pretty significant travel time to get back here and defend. I'm guessing vultures are going to be popping out?
Yeah, it's 100% going to be a vulture. And maybe pooling up to 2 vultures if he knows that it's undiscovered, because obviously 2 vultures can one-shot a probe very easily. The SippyCup is going to go home. Maybe he smelled this out, but I think the only reason the only reason Kanzaki moved out is because he didn't think this was a proxy 2-gate. Maybe he thought it was a 2-gate in base or something less aggressive, and that he had just countered it, and so he prepared to move out. But anyway, stabilized nicely, and this factory, yeah, he's gonna do as much damage as he can with this 1 vulture, and then just lift it off. Yeah, okay, this is really smart. He knows it's spotted. He's just gonna get that factory out of there, and
and he's got
this is free probe kills,
7 zealots. We got 3 kills already.
So in theory, this vulture could kill every single one of these zealots.
Oh, did he just kill his own probe?
Yeah, that was some incorrect target fire there.
Oh, this is a nightmare. This reminds me of Zerglings in the main.
Yeah, exactly. This is the same sort of
he's got 4 kills.
Yeah, this is the damage. This is why vultures are a good unit. You know, like one unit that costs 75 minerals, killing at like 250 minerals thus far worth of probes. And
okay, he does
but nice block. Yeah, you should just focus fire down probes at this point. But that was nice. That was a good way to
very efficient
situation.
Very efficient. The only thing is his macro behind it was a little slow, but it looks like it looks like he's preparing for a push here, because he's got a lot of marine. He's got 2 tanks and siege mode.
Yeah, this is I wouldn't call this a deep 6. I would call this like a shallow 1, because it's 1 barracks, 1 factory with a lot of marine, no academy. He's got 1 vulture and 2 tanks. He's already got siege, and now he's gonna get mines. So it could be an attempt at a contain.
He's actually expanding here, so he might have just felt that he needed siege to defend against all the zealots.
Oh, look at this. He's flying the factory back in. This is going to get spotted by the pylon, though, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
But now he knows that the army is across the map, so...
Oh, he's got to move that barracks back so he can wall off. I would probably pull these marine back. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about this. So that's a lot of zealots.
Range is the problem. He needs to be fighting within range of his siege tanks.
This is so fascinating. Just the way this game unraveled.
Yeah, this is bizarre.
Oh, and we got more vultures popping out.
Yeah, he's queued up 2 vultures. It's gonna come back in. See, this is the issue of having these gateways in the middle of the map. There's no Twitch reaction of like, oh, my units are building. Oh. And look at these with mines, man.
SippyCup's going in.
Wow,
he looks like he attacks and then calls it immediately. Interesting.
Yeah, because he saw the vulture with mines in his main. He knew that there was no chance of getting back to defend that. That vulture was going to kill every single one of his probes. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's fair, but it's like man, you know, the Terrans, they were back there in that machine shop researching how to make spider mines, and they faxed the plans over to that factory while it was in flight. And they were like, all right, let's mine this dude's base up. Really, like, I think, you know, SippyCup got unlucky with the build order choice, though, but Kanzaki played it safe, was able to defend, you know, very effectively, and that sneaky factory was just the icing on the cake. That was dirty, man.
Yeah, that was an excellent counter. Awesome job with the wall. Save the 2 adventurous marine that got killed, but other than that, it was a pretty flawless game.
I think that was just a momentary misread of the builds, but you know, it didn't end up costing him too much because he had SCVs there to repair the depot. And I think he would have been okay. Didn't even build a bunker. You know, that's the panic move there. You just build a bunker because you're like, oh, I'm getting rushed, but no, just continued making units and SCVs.
Yeah,
Very nicely done.
it's so nice that Terran could just repair their buildings while you're attacking it.
Yeah, man.
Imagine that.
Repair's pretty good ability Toy have.
But looks like game 2 we're gonna have on Fighting Spirit. So here we go.
Yeah, I remember a while back there was a YouTube channel called Tiny Land, and the guy was reporting on all kinds of drama from the Korean scene, and one of the things was, you know, back when Tasagi was a thing that, you know, everyone cared about, there was a guy who was going through all of the OP things that Terran has, and Kanzaki managed to exploit all 5 of them in a single game, which was pretty amazing. Repair, floating buildings, vultures, mines, and I guess he didn't exploit the last thing, which was siege tanks getting +5 damage on the arc light cannon with every upgrade, but managed to hit 4 out of the 5 in about a 7-minute game, so very nicely done.
What's funny is at least 3 out of 4 of those are 4 out of 5. That just sounds like standard PvP.
Yeah, exactly.
My dog escaped.
Your dog exploded.
I'll just hold him. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I'm sure chat is gonna yell at me for that, but anyways, looks like we have cross spawns here.
Yeah, and I think this was SippyCup's map pick. Gonna scout after Pylon, so I think this is gonna be more of a standard macro play. One really annoying thing that Protoss can do on this map is they can basically go like 4 Nexus off of 1 Dragoon if they see you doing like a siege expand or something. And it's really good on Fighting Spirit because the third bases and the mains are really easily defendable. The naturals, you can just plug them up with units. The high ground third bases, very easy to defend. You can just sit back a little ways from the ramp and be under no threat whatsoever. And it's really easy to surround Terran in the middle on this map. Like, Terran has to inch their way across the map through that central structure, and Protoss, if they have map control and enough units, can just completely surround you and kill you. So I think this map gets better for Protoss in the mid-game until Terran has this big 200 max army, but, you know, we'll see if it even gets that far. SippyCup's gonna scout, just sees a normal opening.
That looks like it's gonna get another wall.
Yeah, try to...
Is that...
You know,
no, oh, he's got a factory there. I actually don't know if this is a true wall or not.
You don't actually have to do this wall. There's actually a Zergling-type wall in this position, which I think it's factory on the left, barracks on the right, or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a Zergling-type, like, perfect wall that you can do here that doesn't use a supply depot. But I'm sure this works fine as well.
I like how the probe actually was contesting the Marine, the DPS.
Yeah, yeah, he had that. Wow. He had that moving shot, man.
Yeah, he had to micro his Marine, but everything looks pretty standard so far. And the probe did see the factory, so.
Yep, no crazy shenanigans going on.
And it looks like we got a goon on the way with range, so this is all looking pretty standard.
SCV scout gonna see everything. He's gonna see goon range on the way.
Now what's interesting? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Is
no, go ahead.
He is still mining 3 on gas, the Protoss. So I don't think he's going to be going for a particularly early expansion. He's probably going to be going into an early robotics. That's my guess, unless he forgot. But
so yeah, this is we'll see what the Terran builds out of the machine shop. I'm guessing this is just going to be siege expand, which this is the build that I recommend to all new Terrans who are playing PvT, because this is just the safest build you can go for. As long as your wall is tight, you're not going to get busted by anything. It's not as economically strong as like a gasless expand or something like that, but yeah, he's just gonna go for siege and then probably build his command center. I don't know if he's gonna build it on the high ground or on the low ground, but usually you can just push down and build it on the low ground.
Interesting. He's still building marine. Is he spooked from last game, or is this? Do you normally want to build this many marines?
He's scouted, so he shouldn't be afraid. He only saw one gate and he saw goon range making, so he should think that this is gonna eventually result in an expansion. Normally you don't build up this much marine.
He's doing a 10-10-10 build.
Oh, okay. So I mean, yeah, this can work out, but so normally if you're gonna build up this many marine, you either want to go for like a deep 6 or something where you have an academy and medics, or you only want to make the 4 to put in a bunker.
This push is gonna be devastating. So this is.
Yeah.
This is so. What the SippyCup is doing is he's trying to have his cake and eat it too, because he expanded relatively early while also getting the robotics, and he just doesn't have enough to defend against a push like this.
Yeah, he built robotics facility, dragoon range, observatory, and a nexus, and now a second gateway, all off of like 3 dragoons. Right. So now what he needs to do is he needs to start building goons. He absolutely is going to have to pull probes.
Yeah, I would almost.
There's no way to survive this. That's good. He gets him to siege in the middle of the map. That's nice. That slows him down. Your goal is to just slow down the Terran until you can build up a critical mass of forces to stop this. And he's probably going to build a bunker at the front.
Ooh, he needs to fix his rally point. He has a dragoon in the base that's just sitting.
Oh, yeah. You're right. And now he's got 3 goons queued up in this one gateway. He needs to distribute those between his 2 gateways to get these out in time. Already losing 2 dragoons. Yeah, I think.
Are we going to see a bunker? Yep.
I don't know. Oh yeah, there he goes. Oh, okay. So
cancels it.
So he's just gonna. This is gonna slow down the push a little bit, but he's got marine and tank rallying across. Extra barracks being built. They're not rallied quite yet.
Oh wow, he's kind of embarrassed. He smells blood.
Oh yeah, here comes the pro pull. Okay, now he needs a backup right now. Oh man. Well, that bunker is not going to get up. That's a saving grace for SippyCup right now. There's no more SCVs to construct that bunker. So basically he's just relying on these marines as a defensive screen while he sieges closer and closer to the Protoss base.
Yeah.
I think SippyCup is actually okay. Like, I think he's going to lose this Nexus no matter what, as long as Kanzaki is going to keep the pressure up. But I think he's still going to be okay because he has a lot of tech behind this. And
does he have?
Kanzaki has shown no ambitions towards expanding yet.
I would like to see Reaper tech or something like a shuttle bomb, something that could deal with these tanks. Because now we got 5 tanks here at his doorstep. Even if he retreats up to his ramp, I'm just not sure he's gonna have enough to fight this.
Yeah, I think this Nexus is dead for sure, and now he's gonna even get the bunker. So I think. If I had to look into my crystal ball and imagine what the next couple minutes of this game is going to look like. Although, as I say that, he's busting in and he already sniped one of the tanks. That's huge. 2 tanks down. And he just backs up. That's perfect. Perfect. He sees the SCV right by the other tank, so he knows he's not going to be able to kill that.
No, what's interesting about all this is Kanzaki is basically all in with this. Because he is not building a command center behind this. And he's got both barracks pumping marines rally to the natural.
He has an academy and an engineering bay, but I don't see. Okay, he's gonna have the engineering bay for the missile turrets, but you know the Nexus is dead. SippyCup is on 1 base, so and now there's an effective contain outside of his base. So what he needs to break something like this is he needs either like a lot of shuttle zealot or he needs reaver tech, something that he can use to actually push back and regain this natural position. Right now all he's got is a bunch of goons and observers. He's gonna get 2 shuttles though. And now the observer's going across the map. This is gonna be big because he's gonna see no expansion. He's gonna know that Kanzaki's all in.
Yeah, it looks like we're up to 10 dragoon, 11. But
I would actually love to see some medics here. Like, you built the academy and you built an extra barracks. You might as well add a couple of medics if you're gonna have this much fun. Oh, he does have medics. Never mind. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
So he has medics to push
Nice.
up, and this is actually really dangerous. But this
Well,
concave is good.
He did a good job baiting the Dragoon out.
5
Ooh.
tanks, though, man. 5 tanks.
4 goons down just like that. And the medics are healing up the Marine.
Yeah, I think this is going to be over as soon as the tanks get up onto the high ground. He's just going to be able to slowly pressure this down. So what is he going to do with the shuttles? That's the question. He's got some zealots. He's going to have to drop those on top of the tanks after they've sieged. But now he's, look at, he's being very careful.
Oh
about
gosh, that went down.
on the low ground.
That went down so
man.
quickly.
Oh wow. He killed the 2 tanks on the high ground though. So he regains his ramp for the meantime.
And I mean, at this point, if I'm the SippyCup, you might as well throw down 3 or 4 more gateways because he's basically double warping in from all of them, and he still has 500. So
I think he probably planned to have something like a Reaver coming out. He's gonna go Templar Archives. That's gotta be for high Templar tech because he's already got turrets out here. So unless you get turrets, DTs aren't gonna do anything. Bunkers on the high ground now. And Dragoons are engaging. There's 3 tanks on the high ground. Wow, he even loses the shuttle to the turret. That's very unfortunate.
Honestly, I think the shuttle might have even been a fake. Like, I'm not sure if the shuttle was
I'd say yeah, except he started to produce zealots, so I think maybe he was going to try and do a bulldog inside of his own base to try and get rid of these tanks, but it's not going to work now. There's tanks rallying across the map. Kanzaki's got this now. And the SippyCup's out of gas too, so no more Dragoons for him. It's just going to be pure Zealot trying to break this, and there's no chance of this.
Well, he's got DTs
Look,
on the
even
way.
repairing the bunker. Oh, he is going to go DT. Yeah, this is just a very low percentage chance of this working. He's also got a scanner with almost full energy, so...
Ooh.
And the SippyCup sees this, so...
Tanks are already shooting down the probes. This is kind of a nightmare situation.
Yeah, this is just
pulling
pulling everything.
Okay, the DTs are out. If he sends the DTs in right now, he might not... Oh no, he sees it immediately. Okay. Well, I thought maybe there was a chance, but...
Yeah, it's too many scans. Oh, well, there's nothing to shoot the DT. Okay, now there is, after they on siege. There are just a bunch of medics and SCVs standing around with the Dark Templar in full visibility smacking away at that tank.
Yeah,
and
we have
still
a turret coming on the way.
Command center. This is just fully committed all in for Kanzaki. That said, I do think Terran does a little bit better on one base, but there you go, that's GG.
Absolutely.
So,
if you stay on one base versus one base, Terran has the advantage.
Yeah, for sure. So nicely played by Kanzaki. He swatted away that cheese in game 1 and then brought it back with some sharp cheddar of his own with that 2-tank push off of one base.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that was Team Drag taking the lead. Let me check just to confirm. Kanzaki, Team Drag. Oh, he's Team
Kanzaki's
Samyang
on
Fire.
Samyang.
Okay, so Samyang Fire.
2-1.
2-1.
We think.